Good morning, everybody. What a great morning it is. What a great morning it is. It is time for Morning Manna. And I'm so thankful and grateful to be with you this morning. I'm going to give Facebook Live just a second or two to pull together our audience. And then we're going to get right into the word. Got a word for you this morning. Got a word for you this morning. Got some manna for you to dine on to make your day a great day. And just want you to tune in and get this morning's manna. And if it's your first, second, or third time, you know we always want to know where you're from and the city so we can shout you out. Here are the ground rules. The ground rules are they're always the same. It's the text, the talk, and the takeaway. And we want you to send the hearts and the likes so that we can know that it is ministering to you. Got a word for you on this morning. Share this morning's manna. Share this morning's manna so that others can eat as well as you are about to eat right now. Here it is. Have you ever been in a situation where it seemed as though that there are no more options, that your situation is a famine? Everywhere you look, there is nothing there for you. You ever been that way? You ever been in a famine situation where you need favor in your famine? Favor in your famine. Famine doesn't always have to do with not having something to eat, but it can be a famine in a whole lot of areas. Let's talk about this morning with this morning's text. Here's the text. It is in 2 Kings 6:25. 2 Kings 6:25, and it says, there was a great famine in the city. There was a great famine in the city. Here is the context of the text. There's a great famine in the city, in this area of Samaria, and things are so bad, they're so bad. In verse 28, we find that they were selling their children for something to eat. They were literally selling their children that will be boiled and eaten by one another. Now, if that's not a famine, I don't know what is. In the 7th chapter of verses 1 through 2, Elisha announced that the famine is going to be over. He announced that the famine is going to be over, but he gives some clear direction as to how to break this famine. You've got to find favor in the midst of your famine. Here's the first thing that you need to do when things are going bad. You got to fast and pray. You got to fast and pray. Sometimes we don't ever want to do anything to get something. And so in this time, he said, well, you know what, Bishop? It's easy to fast when there is nothing to eat. I'm not just talking about eating type of fast. Sometimes you got to fast from people. You got to fast from stuff. You got to fast from situations. Sometimes you got to fast from the thing that will separate you from what God is trying to do in your life. A famine many times raises the issue. Here are some things that you can do without. So if you're looking for favor in your famine, first thing, fast and pray. Remember Daniel fasted. And that's where we get the Daniel fast from. And in the midst of that fast, he got favor at the end of those 10 days. Here's the second thing that you need to do. Follow instructions. In the 7th chapter, 2 Kings, verses 1 and 2, Elisha announces this is what you need to do. In fact, tomorrow about this time, the famine is going to be over. But there were some that mocked the instructions because they didn't believe that there was going to be a breakthrough in the famine. As a result of that, that person died in the midst of the famine, but some lepers lived because they followed the instructions. Here's the third thing. You have to forge ahead. In the 8th verse of that 7th chapter, you will find that those lepers who listened to the instructions in the midst of the famine came to the edge of the village in which the enemy's camp was, and there were all of the things that Elisha said would break that famine because they followed the instructions. The believers didn't. The lepers did. So in the midst of your famine, no matter the situation, you've got to be able to follow instructions. You've got to be able to fast and pray, and you have to forge ahead. What do you mean forge ahead? Let me help you real good. No matter what, you move forward. No matter what, you move forward, and you'll find favor in the midst of that situation where there is very little to eat. And I'm not just talking about things that you consume. Here's the final thing, and that is our takeaway this morning. The takeaway this morning is famines help you find more God because there's less stuff. There it is. Famines help you find more God because there's less stuff for you to cause your attention to be on because you think that that's going to break the famine. Let's find some favor in the midst of your situation by listening to what the Lord has to say in your situation. May the Lord be with you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Tomorrow is the inauguration, and I got a special manna for our inauguration. God be with you today. Share the manna. Let's find some favor in the midst of it. Bye now.